Hi everyone and welcome to episode 43 of United City Randomiser. Well, what can I tell you? It's been a real slog for the last few games. The last time we were together in episode 42 was against Milan here and we lost 2-0. It was off the back of a couple of poor results, created another result, and we followed it with another poor result against Leipzig and lost 1-0 in that particular game, even though we were at home, which was, again, really disappointing. It's been a really poor run. We then got a decent win away from home against Basel in the Champions League, which is positive. But the biggest problem that we've had over the last few games, if we go in to look at our team squad, our team for today from our squad, is we've had these key injuries. We've had both of our main fullbacks, Mania and DiMarco, both injured, and they're still out for like 3 or 4 weeks apiece. And that's been a real blow to us. They've been a real miss in terms of who we put out. Tiru's been out for a little while now as well, and has got a couple of days left, but he's been out for a few weeks. And Siflidis as well has picked up a knock, which has been a problem. So he's still out for another week probably. And all that has meant that we haven't been able to quite rotate around the side as much as I'd like. And it's beginning to show in the sense of, if you look at our team sheet for today, for example, Kempf and De Silva and Gimba and Bischler, they're all on 80 something in terms of their conditioning to start the match, and that's normally not what I do at all. It's always normally in the 90s because I rotate so well and keep everybody going. But it's been a real problem to keep people healthy and fit for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure why necessarily, but it's just the amount of games, I guess. We have played quite a few games in the last couple of months, and that's because the season is an odd shape in terms of how the fixture list happens, because you can see November and December we don't play any because of the World Cup. And so the back end of the season is going to be hectic as well. So it just feels like the players are really struggling with that at the moment. I don't know what your experience of going through this period in 2022 is like. But that's what I'm discovering at the moment, is that my players are really struggling to stay fit and to also perform well. And it doesn't help that you have 2 games in that last month against Milan, who were just better than us and extremely dominant. And the Champions League is hard. And luckily for us, we still have PSG to come for a couple of games in the next few episodes. So yeah, that's the bit of the background as to where we are. You can see that we've got some injury issues. You can see that people's fatigue is kicking in. The momentum of our side is non-existent at the moment. We haven't really got much momentum. Poor results have counted for that. But what do we get today? Well, today we get a match against Stuttgart, who are a couple of positions below us in the league. If we go and look at the table, you can see we're sitting in 9th, which is not where I want to be. I want to be a few places above that. But you can also see that a decent win can jump you a few places at this point in the season. I mean, we're only 4 points away from top. So that in itself is positive. So, and you can see that Stuttgart are a couple of places below us and are not dissimilar in terms of what their form has been like this season. So it'll be an interesting game today. Hopefully we can pick up a decent result, even though we're away from home, and start a bit of a momentum shift. Everything else is fine. You can see all of our injuries. Other than that, everything else is fine in terms of, some players are playing well. Davies is on the bench today because of fitness, etc., and rotating a little bit, but he's played well for us. You can see our finances remain in good shape, which is positive. So, all in all, it's all right, but it's been a really, really tricky start to season 5. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Let's see what happens today. So let's get into the game and see what happens. So Stuttgart are playing a 4-2-3-1. We're playing a 4-3-3 controlled possession tactic and formation. I've gone in positively with my assistant's help just to say, go out there and prove a point, try and challenge them to end the poor run of results that we've been on domestically, even though last match, we had a decent Champions League win against Basel. It seemed to motivate people, so that's pretty good. So yeah, let's go to kick-off. Stuttgart are at home. They're in the white. We're in our purple kit, which I really like. I quite like all 3 of our kits, which is positive. So that was a first highlight, and a free kick that was blasted over the top of the crossbar, so didn't trouble the goalkeeper in any way. You can see that it's not our normal first 11 today because I'm rotating a little bit, but we'll hope that they can cope. Stuttgart come at us and hit the woodwork on that occasion. A decent long cross from the left-hand side comes in, and they get an opportunity at goal and hit the woodwork. Again, they come down their left-hand side, but cut inside on this particular occasion. Are they going to go back out wide again? They cut it across to the wide right. We don't get a tackle in, which is disappointing. We should have made a better challenge there. But there's a tackle by Schweiger, our young right-sided midfield player. Our winger, and he got a tackle in, which is good. So we get a chance to build up from the back, but that's really poor. Our controlled possession does not mean boot it upfield and give them the ball back and give them an opportunity at goal, which they didn't quite manage to take because Greitbust saved the shot. But a corner comes in for them. It's all very heavy for their possession at the moment, but we eventually get it cleared away from our penalty area, and maybe we can settle down a little bit now. That first 15 minutes was dominated by them, really, which was very disappointing. So where we are now, we've got a long free kick from our defensive area. And again, why are we doing that? Why are we not using our controlled, slow build-up possession, shorter passes, and trying to build it through? Here they come on the counter-attack. Again, a decent block in on the cross from the right-hand side, but it finds its way to their central midfield area with Andrea Pereira, a former Man United youngster, and the cross comes in and they get a decent goal. It's been coming, hasn't it? 22 minutes in and we've been utterly dominated, and I don't like it in the slightest. So we're going to pause the game, we're going to go into our tactics, and we're going to go to the gegenpress and try and arrest the slide, as it were, and try and wrestle back some form of momentum in the game, because so far, as I say, we've been absolutely toothless and nothing-y, haven't we? If that's a word, it is now. So that's the structure that we're going to play for now. Not everybody's totally comfortable in their positions, but attribute-wise, they can play their positions quite okay. So I'm not too worried by that. But we have to try something to try and get ourselves back into the game. So here we come with an opportunity to build up from the back. We take it onto the right-hand side, and Schweiger comes away with the ball into Mount across to Stefano, who finds Wilson on the left. We've cut it all the way left to De Silva. Cross comes in, but it's a poor cross, and they get it cleared. It was too direct at the goalkeeper, really. I'm not even, okay, it nearly went in, but it didn't really. The goalkeeper was fine with that, and there was no issues there, but at least we have an opportunity to come forward into their area of the pitch, which is positive. You can see the possession stats aren't terrible. We've had a certain amount of the ball, but in terms of highlights, etc., we've done absolutely nothing really of any note. Again, they have an opportunity to build up from the back, which they take in terms of going right the way back to the goalkeeper. Is he going to go long? We pushed him into going long, and that gives us the ball back nicely. But again, we give it away so cheaply. We get a tackle in, but the rebound comes back to Tillman, and he slots it home. And again, it's from really, really poor movement of the ball out from our defence, which is so bad. And it has been most of this season. It's there's some new players around, some young players, and we've got to give them time. But just at the moment, you can see that they're really struggling, and we haven't got our experienced fullbacks, which is a real disappointment to me. They've been out for a while, and they're still out for another 4 weeks. And that's a real problem, because until we get them back, it feels like our stability's gone a little bit. And I'm not quite sure we can do much about that until they get back to fitness, really, which is unfortunate. So 2-0 down at half-time, and you can also see, as I was talking about before the game, that some of our players like De Silva and Kempf, for example, are already struggling a little bit condition-wise, just because that's the nature of what we've got available at the moment. So at some point, I'm probably going to have to put Klunter onto the left-hand side, even though he's right-sided, just to keep people fit. And I mean, look at the ratings of the players. It's so bad, and I don't really understand totally why, other than this particular side, this particular 11 is very inexperienced because that's what we had available to us today. But even so, there's some decent enough players in there to be playing individually better than they are. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to have to go in and assertively say, show me something different in the second half. At least they're motivated by that. At least they can see the need to change. So hopefully they'll come out and do that and be a bit more motivated to succeed. And hopefully the gegenpress can kick in properly and we can start pinning them back a bit. I might have to go more aggressive on the tackle, but I don't really want to because it leads to so many yellow card issues. So that was a good opportunity to win the ball back. Fabio Silva with a lovely chip over the top of the goalkeeper. And what a fabulous goal. And that's what he can do. And he very rarely shows it. But that was a great interception and tackle by Breyer, our young right fullback. And the ball eventually finds its way to Silva and a real cheeky lob over the top of an encroaching goalkeeper. And that's the sort of style of play that we like to see. Well done, guys. Can they continue in that vein and get us something more from this match as the game progresses? We are going to have to make a couple of changes in a minute. There's an injury as well. So, yes, we're going to go in. Even though it's our goal kick, we're going to have to make this change. I don't want people picking up knocks as much as is possible. We can't afford to lose more people. So, Stefano comes off and Bischler comes on. And as I said, still De Silva looks exhausted out there really already, even though his match sharpness is good, his conditioning's bad. So Klunter's going to have to come on and play on the left-hand side, even though that's not really where he wants to. I'll leave it there for now, but the likes of Mount, who have got a 6.3, should be worried that if he doesn't buck his ideas up, then I'm coming for him later in the game and replacing him. But yeah, that'll do for now. Our goal kick goes long to Schweiger on the right-hand side, who controls it really well, brings it down, but the cross isn't good enough, and a long ball straight down the other end, and they get an opportunity. I don't know what to say, really. We were on a decent move forward down our right-hand side. It was a decent enough cross, although not specific enough, obviously, by Schweiger. And then all of a sudden, one kick later, they have a chance at goal. So what are we seeing here? Mason Mount, where are you at? You're at a 6.4, but you're anxious, and I don't like either of those two things. So there's a couple of other people there that should be thankful that I've run out of substitutions, but Gravenberch is coming on for Mount just because he was performing badly and not happy doing it. So hopefully that can arrest that little bit of the area in our side in midfield that can, Gravenberch can do better, hopefully. Sometimes this is just a very odd game to play, isn't it, Football Manager? And trying to arrest a slide in form is really, really tricky at times. I think we've done okay in the second half. You can see that possession stats are fairly even. We had more shots on goal. Here's an opportunity for them. Eventually, we suss it out. And it looks like they were rather aggressive at some point and caused a foul, which we'll take the yellow card for. That's fine. You can see here the cross comes in, and it's just a bit chaotic in the area. And something went on in there that the ref didn't like, whether it was offside or what, I don't know. But he got a yellow card, so it must have been a foul. But his one potential last opportunity for us to come forward, Wilson comes forward, but nope, the final whistle goes. It was really disappointing again. It's such an odd season, this one. I know I changed a lot of personnel in the summer, and maybe I shouldn't have in such a big way, but I genuinely felt that it was time for those players to leave because they were going to be asking for new contracts soon if they didn't go, and we couldn't afford to do what they wanted, so we needed to change. But the players that we brought in so far have not been good enough yet. And I stress yet because I really do believe that they're going to be good enough in the long term. So we'll passionately say, no, we can't passionately say, we'll assertively say I'm far from pleased from what I saw, just to buck them up a little bit and get them thinking about their own performance. And we'll come out of that and see what's happened. But it's not going to be positive for us in terms of league form, is it? Because everything was so tight, we're going to have dropped a few places, you would think, by the end of this weekend when everybody's played their games. So we'll go through these. apparently they grabbed a deserved win. What have we got here? Stefano out for 4 or 5 days. That's not bad in comparison to other injuries that we've had, so that's fine. We've dropped a spot because Stuttgart have overtaken us, but there's at least another team here that could, in Leipzig, if they get a decent result. Yeah, it's gonna squish us down a little bit, isn't it, potentially? So that's another disappointing game, another disappointing episode, which is what we seem to be getting recently. But okay, we move forward because we have to. So I've got a couple of games to play against Hamburg and Mainz, and then we'll come back and play Borussia Dortmund in the league. And then the episode after that, we'll play our cup game against Mainz. I want to play, before the end of the calendar year, what we're going to do is play Borussia Dortmund next episode, Mainz the episode after in the cup, and then we'll finish off this calendar year before the big couple of month break against PSG. So that's the next couple of episodes for you. But as of today, it's been a really bad run of form. We've got to find a way to change it. Hopefully in the next couple of games we can. And so, yeah, hope you'll join me for the next episode and see if we can sort of change our fortune a little bit. If you've enjoyed the series, why not subscribe to the channel? That helps to keep up to date with the videos. If you're enjoying the videos, then why not chuck a like on each of the ones that you watch, just because that really helps me to get seen by other people, which is, after all, what I'm here for, really, is to try and share a journey with as many people as I can. But between now and next episode, if you're playing Football Manager, enjoy that experience. Tell me about what you're up to in the comment section below in terms of how your saves are going, good or bad. I love to hear about it, and any thoughts you have on the game. But until next time, take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. So bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.